On today's Buckeye Roast, Brian Hartline is headed to USF, and the ripple effects have already begun and are being felt across the program and potentially across the nation. We're also asking the big question, why hasn't Penn State moved on from Pat Kraft yet? Plus, the Chris Henry Jr. saga continues to unfold. Just a day after National Signing Day, we've got our full recap of the class, the first look at the OC and wide receiver coach wish list, and the latest Ryan Day press conference intel and takeaways. And with the Big Ten Championship on deck, we ask, are you at all concerned about the distractions creeping in, and how do you feel about Indiana? I'm Chris Drew, and this is the Buckeye Roast. We're on a cue right here on Dead Air Sports. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are back for another episode of the Buckeye Roast. It's your boy Ron James here with my guy QP Ski. Q, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Nice quiet day. Not much going on, so I'm just here hanging out.
Yeah, Q, we've been pre-recording this show for this entire season. This is the first year that we are not live, and man, did we have poor timing yesterday. We pre-recorded a show before National Signing Day. I said that I thought Caden Dixon-Wyatt might ride it out with the Buckeyes. He did not. I talked about Brian Hartline not being able to land a job in any interviews after missing out on the Kentucky job and said maybe Ohio State's his forever home. Literally 12 hours later, he signs with USF. Q, I have a stat of the day before we get into the show. That stat, that number 5 representing the number of first-round picks in the Brian Hartline era.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Brian Hartline has done an incredible job. We figured he's been searching for a head coaching job for what, like 3 years now, almost 3. He's been out there interviewing and all that good stuff. So, I mean, he's done a great job here. He's always going to be a legend here. Eventually, we'll see how it goes in South Florida. He may be back down the line at some point. But yeah, man, it's a legacy, and the way he elevated this room will not be forgotten.
Absolutely. You take a look at that graphic. You see Marvin Harrison Jr., Jackson Smith-Njigba, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and Emeka Ibuka. 5 guys all taken within the first 20 picks of their respected draft classes. An unprecedented run by Brian Hartline, and that run is likely to continue here for 2 more years with 2 of his recruits in Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. I don't know if we'll ever see a run like this from a position coach, and the fact that the Buckeyes were able to retain him this long and have this sustained of a run is remarkable, and we're surely going to talk about it more in the show.
Yeah, and I mean, if they knew how to play 4 receivers, you might as well throw J-Bo in here as well. I mean, there's just a ton of talent that's come through this room, and obviously that Brian Hartline has developed. So yeah, man, I don't know if this will quite be repeated. I mean, the fact of the you just see today with the tweets, the entire nation was scared of receiver recruit with Brian Hartline here at Ohio State. Now that's gone. I mean, obviously Ohio State still going to be Ohio State. I don't know. People feel like they're going to fall off a cliff just because Brian Hartline isn't here. We survived before he was here. We'll survive with it after. But yeah, what he did here in that time period was honestly amazing.
Yeah, it's a spectacular run here at Ohio State, and obviously we'll get into it more. Definitely a surprising day, a crazy day for Buckeye fans, especially with a Big Ten championship right around the corner. Definitely not the week that we expected to have. I thought we would talk about Michigan, a little bit of signing day, and then get right into the Big Ten championship, and there's some shakeups on the Buckeye staff already. Q, we got plenty to talk about today, so let's get into it.
All right, play a song. Let's do it.
The hell is a podcast? I mean, why don't you just tape it? What are you doing?
You don't have to tape it these days, Frank. You just record it right onto the computer.
Dead air.
Hey guys, a couple things. Make sure you check the description. We're on Discord now. We're launching our TikTok as well, and Instagram. All that rollout's happening. So connect with us on there, and we will connect with you as well. Again, we appreciate all the support. We're getting closer and closer to 5,000 subs. Maybe by the time you hear this, we will be at 5,000 subs, and I am greatly appreciative of the support, and I'm excited to continue to grow in this community with you guys.
Q, I have news. we have far surpassed 5,000 subs. And of course, you know the rules around here. Every 100 subs, for the most part, with the pace that we're moving at now, we're moving at like 500 subs a day. So it's more like every 500 subs, we get a video. But Q, there was absolutely no way we were going to miss this video.
Hey guys, big thank you for 60 700 subscribers. It's been awesome. You guys have been kind of crushing every goal, and I'm excited for the continued growth. Look, every like, every comment, every share, all of that helps us. Every sub, that all helps us as we try to get to 10K before the year ends. So do want to kick it back to Ron and Q, but thank you guys again.
Clearly, for those of you that saw,
you are lucky I was still here after that. Now, you should have just flipped. I should have just walked off and then flipped back into just Ron in a purple room. I really should have did that for y'all pulling this nonsense.
A peek behind the curtain. Anyone who watched yesterday's episode know that we clearly pre-record this show sometimes in the middle of the night because of our schedules calling for it. But one thing I did find time for today, I know we're recording this in the middle of the night, but I did find time to call Chris Drew at about 5 p.m. today and say, you know what? I need an overproduced version for a 6,700 member celebration.
We need supervision around here. If you were in management, Dead Air Sports might need to call you. So put your resume in send it an email.
What's Ron doing with the budget? He's been spending it all on 6-7 edits.
Oh Jesus! I can't believe y'all pull. I was like, oh, we're at 7K. All right, cool. No, we're not. We're just over here being unserious.
Almost.
Get unserious.
Very
anyway.
Unserious. A serious topic, back to the Brian Hartline discussion. I mean, it was the news of the day yesterday. It is still the news of the day in Buckeye land. Q, when you first saw the notification, did you think it was real? Did you believe it? You had to have read USF and been like, I'm reading that wrong.
I mean, I read it. And I was just kind of surprised. I mean, I believed it. I mean, Brian Hartline has been searching hard for head coaching jobs, which is the thing was it just like we never heard USF. And that was the thing. And obviously I was like, oh, well, their coaches went to Auburn, so they do have an opening. And obviously we know Brian Hartline was killing Florida. Obviously Miami fans, Florida State fans, and Florida fans are probably rejoicing nationwide that he is gone, even though I don't think that's going to change anything. But they got to be regressing. But rejoicing. Jesus Christ, regressing. That's every other word besides rejoicing. But man, I'm not
no
surprised.
Regrets, capital A.
Yeah, no regrets. No, I'm not surprised he got a head coaching job. I was sure somebody was going to eventually pull the trigger and just give him a chance to see what he could do. Obviously, we know his recruiting prowess, and I mean, USF is not in a bad position. Obviously, They had a really good season here, or just coming off. I mean, was it Alex Golish? Alex Golish has done a great job there, so they're coming off a lot of momentum. So, I mean, I think it's a good spot to be. Definitely, I know he's going to look for some Ohio State guys to maybe bring along with him, but it's time for you to see what Brian Hartline can do. I think he's overachieved at pretty much everything. We haven't seen him long enough at OC, but I don't think he's going to be an OC. He's just trying to be a head coach, and probably will get somebody else to come in and really run the offense. So I'm interested to see what he can do. Unfortunately for us, we got to kind of recoup, find some new receivers, find some receiver coaches, and a lot's going to change at Ohio State, but Ohio State will always be Ohio State.
How familiar are you with copyright law?
I'm pretty familiar. I think we talk about it after every episode.
Given my my love for playing copyrighted music on the show. No, Q, I was thinking about USF. They got to get some a collab hoodie between USF and SFE. We get the green U right next to the SFE logo, and it's the USFE instead of USF. Because Brian Hartline, with all the success that he's had with South Florida Express, you got to imagine you got to have some success with South Florida, no?
Man, when you said that, it made me think like a new like football minor league just came out. The USFE tuning premiering at 8 p.m. this evening. The Florida Bearcats matching up against the Birmingham Falcons.
You just have two people in the stands arguing like, what the hell is a Bearcat? And there's no Falcons in Birmingham.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. But yeah, I mean, obviously, SFE, I was about to say USF. SFE, obviously, there's a lot of kids that go through that program. They are, I know we know Jeremiah Smith, Cardell Tatum. They're not all at that high of level, and he can probably pull some skill players from there. And also, he's in Florida, man. I mean, the way USF was looking early this season, we're like, not the best team in Florida. Obviously, it's Miami at this point, but I think you have a good chance to pull some talent there and really start to build a. I mean, I feel like Florida's pretty open. We just don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, Miami is on the edge. We don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. There's a possibility. There's a possibility they don't. So we'll see what happens there. Florida's in a rebuild. Just hired a new coach. Florida State probably about to fire their coach, hire a new coach. So it's or has he been fired yet? He hasn't been fired yet.
No, I just your boy. You said last year you told me he was a top 5 coach in the sport, and now you're telling me that he might get fired. I was just checking in to make
he's going to go to Penn. He's going to go to Penn State and build a powerhouse. So
Mike Norvell to Penn State. That is a take.
Started here first, but I think
speaking of copyright, you might want to check in on that. Copyright that take right there before anyone else.
Yeah, if anybody takes it, because I'm holding it down. But yeah, I think Brian Hartline has a really good opportunity to build a program here. We'll see what he can do. Obviously, he's worked under Ryan Day. He's learned a lot. Ryan Day, I think we both feel like is at the top now of college football as far as building and maintaining an organization, as you call it. So let's see what Brian Hartline learned and what he can do. But yeah, I am. If I was Miami, Florida State, Florida, I am secretly worried. Like, this dude might pull some talent because he's got a good opportunity to have a team here that could make the playoffs at this point, year in, year out.
Fun fact, he's off to a great start already. That USF roster already has 4 SFE kids on the team. So off to a hot start there. And yeah, I mean, when you talk about the choice of South Florida, not technically in South Florida, but I digress. It's kind of down there.
I was like, they're in Tampa? I thought they'd be lower.
You talk about some of the other jobs that he interviewed for West Virginia, Kentucky, Cincinnati a while back. I mean, if things don't go right, I'd rather have them not going right in Tampa, Florida than Lexington, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Or Morgantown, West Virginia.
Yeah. And I'm like, I would not want to be in West Virginia right now. I think that program is really on its way back. Kentucky right now, I don't think that's a great job. We talked about it yesterday, and I was like, I would not go to Kentucky. I know he probably would have went there. His brother's there. His brother played there, like different things like that. But I thought that was a doom as far as a career goes, playing at Kentucky, because I don't feel like you'd win many games. I feel like South Florida, it's a good opportunity for him to parlay that into a Power 4 big-time job if he can do it successfully. So I think that's one of the better choices he would have made as far as head coaches, even though we didn't know that choice was on the table.
Yeah, an awesome choice for Hartline. A little bit surprised that he landed with a G5 job. I was listening to Chuck yesterday, and he was surprised that Hartline didn't stay for one more year and hold out for a bigger job. And I said, I thought I kind of like the fit for him, because the expectations, while Alex Golesh had success there this past year, it's not going to be a pressure cooker for him. And for a young head coach with not much experience, not a large coaching tree, why go out and fail on a large – and not that I expect Brian Hartline to fail, but some of the situations that he interviewed for, not the greatest. So would have put him in potentially a position that isn't as advantageous as this South Florida position that will have a rich recruiting
base
footprint and where they're at. And then also not really the highest of expectations, and allow him to learn. We talked about Ryan Day as a first-time head coach at Ohio State and how difficult it was to learn first-time head coaching lessons on the job under such a microscope like Ohio State. And Brian Hartline's going to be able to do that at South Florida. That will give him a little bit more time to learn.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that a lot. His mistakes won't be on the national spotlight. So yeah, he's got time to learn there, and obviously, like, he's got time to fail and succeed. And again, if it takes him a couple of years in South Florida, nobody's going to be like, hey, you're in Kentucky, like, oh, well, we fired Mike Stoops and you're not progressing him, so you got to get out of here. Like, it's not a short leash. You feel like for Brian Hartline, I feel like they knew Brian Hartline, obviously, you were right at some point. He probably was not interviewing well, and that's why he hadn't landed a couple of these jobs. So he may have a lot to learn on the job and can do that in a lower bubble.
Yeah, he'll have an opportunity to do that. Q, I wanted to ask you, are you worried that he may try to take any current staff members with him?
No, not as far as full-time coaches or people are going to be like, oh no, they're leaving. Like I heard Coach Key, possibly. That was the one name I did hear where I was like, okay, that would kind of make sense. But I don't know, Coach Key will leave for a South Florida job, maybe an OC job at South Florida or something like that. But also too, if Coach Key did leave, it wouldn't be like, I don't know, like that's Ryan Day's boy. But it's also too like it's not like I feel like the coaches, Matt Patricia is here, we're good. Walt's here, we're good. Lordice is here, we're good. Everyone else. You did it earlier. Like everyone else, I don't know if it's really a big hurt or they're not people that we can, like I said, when somebody leaves at Ohio State outside of Hartline, I feel like you can upgrade on that guy.
Did you have Larry Johnson in that list?
No, but Larry Johnson's not leaving going to South Florida. Like Larry Johnson is well closer to retirement.
No, obviously
he's
he's
going
not
to South
going there.
Florida.
I thought you were naming coaches that you'd be concerned if they were leaving.
I mean, if Larry
in the context for South Florida, not necessarily leaving in general.
I'm just saying, even if Larry Johnson left tomorrow, we'd be like, okay, he wasn't going to coach forever. Like if he did leave South Florida, we'd be like, all right, he just wants to retire in South Florida. We knew this was coming.
We have Larry Johnson on the sideline until he's 90, like he's Joe Paterno.
Yeah, Larry, DC is South Florida. I would love to see it. I back Larry Johnson 100%.
We're going to have Larry coaching here so long. It's like, all right, the band's going to come out as soon as Larry gets across the field.
Yeah, as long as he keeps reducing his defensive line, if he can wheelchair out there, I'll take it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it later in the show with National Signing Day. He got him a stud in Kari Wilder. He just keeps doing it despite all of the calls and questions for him. At this point, I've been doing this long enough that I've learned I'm not questioning Larry anymore. He's going to do his thing, and he's going to figure it out when it comes time to play on Saturday. Q, two names that I wanted to talk about as potential player departures that seem like they would be good fits with Brian Hartline. Lincoln Kienholz, you hear Tavian St. Clair has been practicing well, the likely heir to the throne after Julian saying, does Lincoln Kienholz look to portal after this season? Would South Florida be a fit there? Bryson Rogers, junior wide receiver at Ohio State from Tampa, Florida. Would that make sense as a pairing for Brian Hartline to jumpstart things for the UCF Bulls?
Yeah, I've heard Lincoln Kienholz a lot. I do like it.
Or USF, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I made them Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. I've heard Lincoln Kienholz a lot. I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't know where he would go as far as a Power 4 school to go play quarterback. I mean, it feels like at South Florida, the coach knows him. He's going to get the job there. I think we've seen some good stuff from Kienholz this season. We just don't know what level if he's at. And I think when we were thinking of levels for Lincoln Kienholz to go to was lower Power 4 coach or quarterback jobs if he was going to take one. So I think South Florida would be a good position for him to go. I think he's going to be one of the more talented players probably in that conference. He's developed under Ryan Day and Billy Kessler for a couple of years now. So I think he'd be good to go. And I honestly think that would be a good position for him. As far as Bryson Rogers, I don't know. I mean, I've heard a lot of people talk about the wide receivers in this room, and I'm like, you're an Ohio State level receiver. I feel like if Bryson Rogers hits the market, he probably can play at a Power 4 school. I think we all see Bryson Rogers. We're like, you probably could play. You're just not going to play in front of Cardinal Tate and Jeremiah Smith and Brandon Ennis, and unfortunately, those guys are sitting in front of you. So I think Bryson Rogers probably have quite a few options if he wanted to hit the portal. Now, obviously, he knows Brian Hartline. He hasn't played a ton under Brian Hartline, so I don't know if he feels like, oh, Hartline should have played me more. Maybe I won't follow him and try to go there. Maybe I should go somewhere else. But I feel like he at least has options. Would that be the worst position for him? No, but I think he can definitely play Power 4 football.
Absolutely seems like a guy that is going to be able to play Power 4 football, but also you have the relationship with Brian Hartline. He did decide to stay after considering the portal once and choosing Brian Hartline a second time. So maybe he enters the portal this time and chooses Brian Hartline a third time. Something to keep it.
Just to interrupt, you know who should go? Noah Rogers, so we can stop doing cardio at NC State.
Absolutely, bro. That's my first call if I am Brian Hartline. They're like, hey, we'll actually throw you the ball here, I promise.
So maybe that should be the former Hartline guy to follow him down there because I haven't seen him since he left.
I saw him in with my own eyes at Heinz Field this year doing cardio for an entire game.
Oh, I know he's alive. I'm just talking about highlights.
Q, I wanted to pivot a little bit, and by pivot, I mean continue to talk about this offensive coordinator and wide receiver vacancy now at Ohio State. I have a wish list here, and I don't know how much of it's a wish list and a hot board. I think it's a combination of Ron's wish list and the realistic hot boards that I've seen around the internet. Well, which ones would you like to start with? Ron's like Santa Claus wish list, or the actual names that, credible writers are using?
we cover it all at this point. Why not on this pack signing day, post signing day edition? I think you got to start at the top with Chip Kelly there. Obviously got fired at the Raiders, so currently unemployed. Just my question is, I think that would be a perfect fit just to come back and take up his old job. I just don't know what Chip Kelly really wants to do at this point. Obviously he came to help Ryan Day out. I think Ryan Day has kind of proven that he can move on and do it without Chip Kelly, but they won a championship together. We'll see if they can repeat it, but I don't know if Chip necessarily wants to be here because he got out of here pretty fast as soon as the NFL came calling. So it's more so what Chip wants to do, but I'd love to have him back if he wants to come back, especially the way this Ohio State offense is going. I think Chip is really creative. I think we saw more creativity last year than we have so far this year. So I would not mind Chip Kelly back at all to start there.
Q, I had a tweet that I put out today of a combination of wide receiver coach and offensive coordinator that I thought would solve the problem instantly, and I tagged Ryan Day and Ross Bjork and said, don't worry about it, I'll handle the coaching search. The two names that I had at the top of my board were Chip Kelly and former Pittsburgh Steelers legend and current Arizona State wide receiver coach Hines Ward. And then, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I saw that tweet you said, and I was like, that's really on the mark there, but I'll let you finish what you were saying.
I was going to say, and then later throughout the day, as I continued to research, I decided to escalate my request, and I have another offer that I'm ready to submit to Ross Bjork and Ryan Day if they're not filling Chip Kelly and Hines Ward.
And which ones would those be?
I have another Steeler wide receiver and Antoine Randall, the assistant head coach for the Chicago Bears and former Lions wide receiver coach, paired with former Giants head coach Brian Daboll as the offensive coordinator.
That seems like a Ryan Day kind of thing there. I mean, NFL coordinator. Obviously, if Chip doesn't want to come back, you got an NFL coordinator, NFL receiver coach. I haven't kept up in Randall L's career. I know you'll probably know it a little better than me.
So he was the wide receivers coach for the Lions during the entire Ben Johnson tenure, and now went to bet with Ben Johnson and is now the assistant head coach and wide receivers coach for the Bears.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously he's an NFL receivers coach, so that has done him well. I mean, I think Randall L will have a lot of pull, especially coming back to Big Ten territory. Obviously, he played at Indiana, so he's been around. He knows how to recruit. I feel like that's right down the tree of where we went with Hartline, except he has a lot more experience than Hartline does at this point. I mean, if you coach NFL receivers, obviously you're a technician, you know how it runs. I mean, I think both that and Hines Ward are good choices. I mean, Hines Ward, Hall of Fame receiver, Randall L, probably on the borderline of that NFL. Randall L had a good NFL career, which I hate to admit because I'm a Ravens fan, but he did have a really good NFL career. I hate to admit it because there's both Steelers in here, but I think those are two solid choices and two guys that, like, if you're looking for that next Hartline, which there may not be a next Hartline, but in that vein of those guys, I mean, Hines Ward comes in. Who's going to be able to tell Hines Ward, who's already coaching a first-round receiver right now, to say, like, hey, he can't come in and, like, we don't trust him? I think we would. I mean, Antoine Randall L., maybe the kids today may not know who he is, but a lot of people do, and he runs that respect to Hartline, and he gets a better career than Hartline. So it's like, yeah, I've done it. I've now coached the NFL. Like, I'm here, and I think they both would be home run hires at the wide receiver position. And they're black. Yeah. This always helps.
A couple other names that I saw on the realistic list, Keaton Bailey, former assistant under Brian Hartline, known for his recruiting prowess, Carnell Tate, famously credited Keenan Bailey as one of the main reasons why he came to Ohio State. Akron head coach Joe Moorhead, everyone loves Moorhead. He was the he's the current head coach at Akron, former offensive coordinator at Oregon and Penn State. You have Toledo head coach Jason Campbell, a name that was floated last time this position came open. He's actually been a consistent name associated with Ohio State in this offensive coordinator position. Your thoughts on those three names?
So Jason Campbell, I don't know if he's really going to ever get the offensive coordinator job at Ohio State. I feel like there was a time where he was a hot candidate and obviously he wasn't chosen. Ryan Day instead was like, hey, Chip Kelly, I know you're a head coach over there, but yeah, come just coordinate my offense and make it run. So I'm really surprised Jason Campbell hasn't gotten a bigger job, maybe another group of 5 job that's a little bit more elevated. I'm kind of surprised with that, but yeah, I don't know if it hasn't happened yet. I don't know if he's going to get it just coming from where he is currently. I think he'll probably have to go somewhere else and then come back. It's probably more realistic. Obviously, Jason Moorhead. Joe Moorhead.
Joe Moorhead.
Yeah,
I was like, I gotta stop you. I feel like I'm doing the show with Levitar today. And Mark Stoops, you missed that one today.
Mike Stoops.
Yeah, you called him Mike Stoops. You called him Billy Kessler. It is Billy Fessler.
Billy Fessler. It's late, people. On. It's late. Spare me. I'm trying. And Ron has like 52 names on this board. I was trying to say Antoine Randall Ward. So, all right, we'll keep it going. Yeah, Joe Moorhead. I don't know about, like, again, I know he offensive coordinated at Oregon. Obviously, he's a head coach right now. I don't know if that's a Ryan Day hire in Penn State. I don't know. It doesn't seem as likely to me, but it's always a possibility. But yeah, I think you're more on the head when you say like Ryan Day is going to go NFL. Like with your second hit, I mean, obviously Chip Hines Ward will take him. The NFL coaches, I think that's more Ryan Day's vein. So I think it'll more so be those than a couple college coaches that you're like, all right, that's a solid hire. Like I think Ryan Day is like, Hartline was the biggest name, not being a head coach in college football. I need to go have another splash hire and kind of bring back that credibility and kind of roll with that. And I think Randall L., Chip Kelly, Hines Ward would do that.
A couple other names that I wanted to float to you. Mike Shanahan, current offensive coordinator and wide receiver coach at Indiana.
2 birds with 1 stone. Would he leave Indiana, you think?
That's a great question.
I mean, I feel like the way their program is running, money is obviously flowing in. Kirk Cinetti is really on the rise there. Like, I don't know if I would leave Indiana right now to go be, I mean, Ohio State's obviously a bigger job, but you're kind of in the same position. You're on the rise. Indiana's offense has proven to go out and really blow out, destroy teams right now. I feel like he's in the Hartline position of, don't take another OC. Like you're parlaying for a head coaching job at a group of 5 or a smaller Power 4 school currently at this point.
2 other names that I wanted to float to you in regards to the wide receiver position. I am praying here that the Buckeyes decide to go with a new offensive coordinator and a new wide receivers coach instead of trying to replace that position or both of those positions with one guy like they currently do now. 2 wide receiver coaches that I wanted to float to you. Kelsey Pope, the Tennessee's wide receiver coach, the highest graded recruiter in 2026, and then Dennis Simmons, USC's wide receiver coach. He coached CeeDee Lamb and Dede Westbrook, as well as Mekhi Lemon, now currently at USC.
Well, don't know much about those guys other than what you gave me, but I mean, those are some lists. I mean, Tennessee just signed a 5. They still signed Tristan Keys, another 5-star in the wide receiver class. So I mean,
Legend Bay.
Yeah, Legend Bay. Well, he hasn't signed yet, but we'll see what happens. We'll talk about him probably in a little bit. Yeah, I mean, 2 guys that are credible. And again, I think not Brian Hartline, your Lord. I think Ryan Day is going to go out and get one of the
deep breath. And you're going to get these names right today because
well, I got
do you
Brian
remember
Hartline
your name?
Right? It's just not the guy I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, I think Ryan Day is going to go out. He's going to exercise. He's going to see who are the best recruiters out here, who has that kind of pedigree, and who they develop and pull those guys in. I mean, those 2 guys seem to fit the bill.
Q, I have a message from our sponsors, and then we're going to come back and talk about the debacle that is the Penn State's coaching search. It feels like it has been a topic on this show now for people talk about recurring segments. Another one for you. I feel like DJ Khaled, because we keep talking about this Penn State coaching search, maybe because it's so close to me, geographically. Holy crap. Geographically, holy hell, is it late? But yeah, Q, we are going to get a message from our sponsors. Hopefully you're going to be able to say names. I'm going to be able to say words, and we're going to finish this podcast.
Sounds good.
The hell is a podcast? I mean, why don't you just tape it? What are you doing?
You don't have to tape it these days, Frank. You just record it right onto the computer.
Dead air.
Hey guys, big thank you for 60 700 subscribers. It's been awesome. You guys have been kind of crushing every goal, and I'm excited for the continued growth. Look, every like, every comment, every share, all of that helps us. Every sub, that all helps us as we try to get to 10K before the year ends. So do want to kick it back to Ron and Q, but thank you guys again.
Right back to the show. Chris talked about all the things that help us. Nothing helps us more than likes and subscribers and comments on the show, specifically comments on the show. Those help us the most. So if you have a minute after the show wraps, go over to the comment sections. Tell us how your day's going. Tell us what you want to talk about. Leave us a comment. It helps a ton. It costs you nothing. Q, back to the show. We were talking... Okay.
Just interrupt real quick. I just checked down and we are at 6,800 subs. So I will not have to see that video anymore going forward, or it's just a lie.
I might just lie to us and we might be stuck at 67. No. Oh man, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We've been stuck at 6-7 forever. No? Okay. All right, back to the show. Q, we've been talking about this Penn State coaching search, and it seems like we're going to keep talking about it because Pat Kraft, I wish I had the DJ Khaled sound loaded. Congratulations, you played yourself, because I've been saying from the jump, Pat Kraft's plan all along was I'm going to fire James Franklin and hire my buddy Matt Rule, and everyone's going to just love it. And then he fired James Franklin and was like, I'm going to my friend Matt Rule. And they're like, Matt Rule? What are you talking about? You better go get me a real coach. Brandon Walker did the greatest job summarizing how this coaching search has went.
After years of getting embarrassed by James Franklin and going 11-1 and 10-2 and 11-1 and 10-2 and being near the top of the sport, not at the top of the sport, but near the top of the sport and the top of their conference for years and years and years, Penn State had finally had enough. They said, this is not good enough. We hate winning 11 games. We hate winning 10 games. It sucks. Then as soon as they started to show some weakness, as soon as he lost a couple games he shouldn't have lost, James Franklin, get the fuck out. We are Penn State. We are football. We mean business. We win championships here. We need a serious coach. So come on down, Kurt. So come on down, Mike. All right, come on down, Eli. All right, come on down, Kalani. Come on down, somebody. Somebody, please. Somebody out there want to take the Penn State job? This is one of the most pathetic coaching searches I have ever seen in my entire life. Every time they circle the wagons on somebody, he breaks through the wagons and goes to wherever he wants to go. They're getting more. They're getting more raises for people than Casey's thirst traps. They are absolutely out here getting people paid.
Q, the list goes on. Will Stein takes the Kentucky job. Brian Hartline takes the USF job. Brent Key at Georgia Tech gets a 5-year extension. And Jeff Brom says that he has a zero interest in the Penn State job. How bad did Pat Kraft ruin this situation?
Oh, yeah, he butchered it. I mean, he should basically at this point should get himself fired. I mean, honestly, you talked about it. Matt Rule was his guy. If that's who you wanted, you should have just pulled the Brinks truck out and paid him. Like, if that's who you wanted, yeah, I get it.
That is who he wanted. No one else wanted him. They looked at him like, are you serious?
I mean, he is an alum. I feel like Matt Rule's a good coach. He probably will perform better than he's doing it currently at Nebraska. But, like, at least then you have some foundation. And you're the AD. Like, hey, I trust in this guy. If you want me as the AD, trust him and give him an opportunity. That you would have been better to hire Matt Rule, or it'd be better to currently do what they're currently doing. It'd been better to hire Matt Rule.
You know what this feels like? Like, imagine you're planning the Super Bowl halftime show, and it's a week before the show, and you get a call, and it's like, yep, Bad Bunny, he's out. Anybody have any suggestions? And someone raised their hand like, yeah, my boy raps.
Okay, Matt Rule's not that bad.
Yes, it is, bro. You don't fire James Franklin to hire Matt Rule.
But, I mean, they were already – the word
What
was
does Matt Rule want?
Nothing, but at least did enough to get an NFL head coaching job. I mean –
And how'd that go?
Well, he also didn't get much while he was there.
And then he came back to college, and how's that going?
He's at Nebraska.
Nebraska? Is that not a blue blood?
Ron. You didn't. Matt Rule did not go to Nebraska. He was like, oh man, he's at Nebraska. Oh yeah, they're about to cook it up. Go, be for real, bro. Nobody's winning at Nebraska. Come on.
What do you mean? Nebraska's won a national championship more recently than Penn State.
I understand that, but this is why we look at Kurt Cinetti like, wow, like you really did that, because no one expected him to actually go there and win, and he's done
Nebraska
it.
And that's bullshit. Nebraska is a blue blood program historically by the official blue blood graphic for college football, and Indiana is historically the worst college football team, the losingest college football team of all time. So to compare those two situations, not comparable at all. What Kurt Cignetti is doing is working miracles. The fact that Nebraska,
I just said that.
Yeah, what Kurt Cignetti's doing at Indiana is working miracles, but what Matt Rule is doing at Nebraska is failing with great resources at a school that still has packs the stadium every week, has a fan base and donor base that's willing to pay. You have a 5-star quarterback in Dylan Raiola that they went out and got a legacy for you. They put wide receivers around him, and you're still a bucket of mid. So at what point do we just accept, like, Matt Rule's a pig in lipstick?
Bro, Nebraska has been hiring hot coaching names for like 20 years now.
But that's what I'm saying. And this
none
dude
of them have succeeded. None of them have hit a level to where they are satisfied. So what made anyone think that Matt Rule was going to go there, and just because he got Dylan Raiola, the man who flipped more than pancakes on a Sunday, like was going to go there and be successful? And two, it's not like he's throwing to Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. Like, he's got a couple okay receivers, but we looked at them like Nebraska really should spend some money on their roster. Outside of Dylan Raiola, they're really not spending too much money on their roster. So it's like no one expected Matt Rule to succeed.
Okay, but why would you expect him to succeed at Penn State?
Penn State actually, for the most part, is going to put their money where their mouth is. Naturally, they're around more talent. I mean, no one talks about Pennsylvania and the talent in Pennsylvania more than my co-host, Ron James. You're right near that. Penn State also recruits the DMV very well where I'm from, and there's a lot of talent in there. Like, naturally, things are set up better at Penn State for a good coach like Matt Rule, who's probably better than some of the people on this list to go and succeed. And obviously, what was the point? We knew the bottom line at Penn State, outside of falling off a cliff, was 10-2. If you felt like Matt Rule was a better coach than James Franklin, might be, might not be, depending on how you feel. You felt like he could get that extra game or two, and that's all they were looking for. You don't need some hot shot coach to come in there. You need a coach that's like a hair better than James Franklin to get it done. Because that's all
not. That is my entire point. He's not a hair better. You're talking about Penn State being a better situation than Nebraska. Mind you, Penn State's last national championship was in 1986, Q. From 1986 to 2011, for 25 years, they had a Hall of Fame coach and did not win a national championship.
Okay.
Then they go out and get Bill O'Brien after sanctions. He skedaddles as fast as possible. And then you have James Franklin build that program from the ashes and have you within a field goal of a national championship. And then you fire him for Matt fucking Rule. That is a fireable offense. They should have stopped the game at halftime to bring Pat Kraft down to the 50-yard line to fire him in front of all of their fans for the last game of the season.
I mean, that would be cool, and I would love for that to happen. But also, it's like James Franklin was again. Matt Rule got an NFL coaching job. That is why he left Baylor, and that is when he became a hot name. Now, got screwed over, in my opinion, when he went to the NFL. But James Franklin was never getting another, like, a higher job than Penn State. No one was looking at James Franklin. Like, if Ryan Day, like, let's say James Franklin did what he did at Penn State. If Ryan Day left Ohio State and went somewhere else, and they were like, James Franklin is a candidate, boy, you would be knocking down your wall with a hammer. And I'm not saying.
What was James Franklin's record last year?
Right, 10 and no, well, they played playoff game, but 10-2 regular season.
Okay. 10-2 regular season, and then they went and won a playoff game, correct?
Yeah, against us.
But they did not win a playoff game against us.
Yeah, they won a playoff game against Boise State, who we could play for.
Oh, I thought you meant. I thought you meant Ohio State.
We could be on that team.
Cute. Okay, so he still has a playoff win. Matt Rule, number one, his first year at Baylor, they went 1-11, and then they went 11-3 in 2009. But it's the Big 12. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like, yo, oh my God, you know who Matt Rule is?
And he found a way to play defense in the Big 12. But continue.
Matt Rule is the 29-year-old Chinese prospect in the CBA that's putting up 35 points in the league, and it's like, oh, you gotta see him in the NBA. He's the best. And then he comes over and he's getting beat on by G Leaguers that are more famous on TikTok than they are for playing basketball, bro. That is who Matt Rule is, bro. He is the biggest fraud, the biggest pig in lipstick that I've ever seen. And him and his buddy, he better have an analyst position for his buddy Pat Kraft very soon, because this man lost his job twerking for him.
I'm not gonna lie. You said 29-year-old, and I heard Pross. I thought we were going really off the rails here. I was like, uh-oh, it might be a different show. I mean, I'm just saying, Matt Rule may not be the greatest coach in the world. People may feel how they feel about it. I don't feel like he's terrible, but I feel like no one's going to succeed in Nebraska currently. If that was your plan and you're the AD at Penn State and that's what you were going with, it would be better than hiring us. Like, that is the choices they have now. I don't care what you do about Matt Rule, and that's what the sword you want to die on. Go hire Matt Rule and die on the sword, because guess what? Not hiring Matt Rule just got you fired as well.
We asked the question the other day, like, if bro just fires the coordinators, like, he's still employed, James Franklin's still employed, they still have a recruiting class. James Franklin, Penn State is, trivia question of the day, Q. Do you know what Penn State's recruiting class is ranked today on, the day after National Signing Day?
I don't know what their number is, but I've heard they're behind a school that is known for academics and not Northwestern and not MIT, like Don would say.
They are 135. They are dead last in all of FBS, and they are almost the first school ever to go through early signing day without signing a single recruit. They signed one player in quarterback Peyton Felzone, who made a case for Terry Smith to be the next head coach. I said Penn State, if they were smart, would fire Pat Kraft tomorrow and hire Terry Smith immediately, live with the consequences, and let the next AD sit with Terry Smith for 2 years and allow them to hire a new coach after being there for 2 years. Q, I did not expect our conversation about Matt Rule and James Franklin to become so heated, so I figured I would go to a much lighter topic in the Chris Henry Jr. saga.
Curse you, Hartline.
Pouring salt on the wound, insult to injury. The Buckeyes start off a National Signing Day on a rough foot with Caden Dixon-Wyatt flipping to USC. That had nothing to do with the Hartline decision that was happening regardless. You saw those crystal balls rolling in before Hartline ever made a decision or informed any players. Later in the afternoon, you get the notification that, or not in the afternoon, later in the morning, you get the notification that Brian Hartline is accepting the job at USF, and then reports come out that, oh, great joy, Chris Henry Jr. officially signs keyword signs with Ohio State, and everybody's like, rejoice. The Buckeyes live even without Brian Hartline. The brand is strong. And then more and more time goes by. My mentions keep getting filled with, you sure about that? You sure about that?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I think they meant to put Chris Henry Jr.'s size as, he left because he didn't sign anything. That was bad. That was such a dad joke. Jesus Christ.
You said East. I thought you said West.
So I'm sorry, audience. Continue.
Press the roast tomato button. Chris Henry Jr. Decides not to sign on National Signing Day, stealing a page. Bro, also, someone must have been watching the show. Calvin Russell did the Terrell Pryor yesterday, had a press conference to announce that he would not be signing.
Yeah, elite ball.
My favorite type of press conference on early National Signing Day. But Chris Henry Jr. decides to not sign and continue to take time to think about his decision. Teams in play currently stand as Ohio State, Oregon, obviously making a play, Texas, the last minute bag toss, and then USC, the same place that was able to steal Caden Dixon-Wyatt. Both of them are modern day teammates. The modern day curse seems like it's going to live on for the Buckeyes. We talked about defeating it. Not only were we going to get one, but we were going to get two kids from the powerhouse in California that has been so elusive for the Buckeyes in recruiting. And we thought that we would end that curse. And now it looks like it's turning into a recruiting nightmare for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, it's just we talked about it. Oh, hopefully we get a quiet signing day. Well, we got anything but. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely madness on signing day, but you would expect it with Hartline leaving. I mean, that's a big time coach. I mean, Caden Dixon-Wyatt was leaving anyway, which was like, go to USC. Like, go to USC. Like, I'm not mad at it. I just
number one recruiting class in the country. Q, watch your mouth.
I never, and this is just me and a signing day thing. I never understand being committed at a school for like 9 months just to flip on the last day. I just don't understand it. I'm like, you're signing with a school you've been committed to for 20 minutes. Hopefully, don't hit the portal. I wish, but I wish nobody else Caden Dixon-Wyatt. It's just a lot of people do that. And I'm like, I don't understand it. But yeah, he moves out. Chris Henry Jr., a lot going on with him. We even have Jeremiah Smith tweeting out, yeah, bro, go there next year because might need you. My buddy over there is leaving and we need to reload. So, I mean, a lot going on with him. He's taking his time. I applaud him for not making a quick decision and waiting until Saturday. And obviously, he's listening to Ryan Day say, like, yo, who are you bringing in? Because I trusted Hartline with my career. And the next guy I need to be able to trust is just go send him this hot board list. And maybe he'll be like, okay, I'll stick around. Just get one of those guys. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's a crazy time. And obviously, Ohio State's class, like, fell a little bit. I think we're going to be, what are we, around 10 now? Obviously, with the top.
Here's our signing day recap. The Buckeyes end up signing 25 of 28 commits. Chris Henry Jr. and I'm not even going to attempt to say his first name. Guilford, the other wide receiver in the class, are the only two that remain unsigned that are considering the Buckeyes. Legend Bay flips to Tennessee on National Signing Day. A little bit of craziness going on with that commitment. I mean, you look at the signing day celebration at a school full of Ohio State recruiting pictures. He's in black and red. Everybody is celebrating Ohio State, and his mom refuses to sign the paperwork for him to come to Ohio State. And because he's not 18, he's unable to make that decision, ends up signing with Tennessee later in the day. Just an awful situation for the Buckeyes. I wish the best for the kid. I hope things work out at Tennessee. An odd situation there where it feels like the kid wanted to come to Ohio State, but the family wants him close at Tennessee. And I feel like Brian Hartline leaving was probably the final straw for the family there.
I don't know. It's weird because Coach Locke was actually recruiting him. So I thought he was going to come here and actually play running back. I didn't know. Probably some specialist role. But this was the story of the day for me. I mean, that's one of the craziest things like I've actually heard.
Brian Hartline takes a new job. And Q talks about a kid that we flipped a month and a half ago being the story of the day.
As far as recruits go, like I've not heard many things like my mom will sign a letter of intent. I literally can't go to the school I picked to go to. Like I've not really heard that. I've heard parents disagree, and the kids like, I'm going where I'm going, and you just be mad on signing day. When we have the famous Auburn, Alabama, where the kid went to the other school, the mom was over there like he should have went here. Like we see that.
I have to get the video. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
for the next 3 to 4 years, I'm going to be taking my talents to
Bama, baby. Put that down. You know, play.
I'm playing.
You playing on the big dog, baby. You're playing on the big dog. Bama! Bama! Bama!
The Ohio State University.
Bama!
Let's go.
Alabama, yeah! Yeah! Hold on, what do you say now?
The Ohio State University, where I'll be playing where I'll be playing for the next 4 years.
I'm gonna punch you in the throat. Put that damn hat down. We discussed you gonna talk and take it to Alabama. You said that. You said you're going to take it to Alabama. Why the hell you got to Ohio State on?
I just feel like
I did not work for since you was 10 years old to get you in a private school, busting my ass for you to be going on no whack-ass Ohio State.
This is where the Lord led me. This is why
the Lord didn't lead you to this decision. Me and the Lord on the same path line. We said Alabama, and that's what we talked about. So put the hat down. He's playing around, coach.
He's sorry. He's playing around. He's going to Tennessee, Q.
Yeah, well, clearly the Lord doesn't lead anyone to Ohio State. We found that out the hard way.
Oh my God, the Lord is definitely not a fan of Ohio State recruiting.
Recruits against Ohio State
after God told Bijan Robinson to go to Texas, bro. Every time I go to church, I ask God why. Why you tell him that?
Texas, Notre Dame. He recruits it. He is the Chase Herbstreit of recruiting. He recruits everyone against the. But anyway, before we get
touchdown
canceled.
Jesus at Notre Dame. God telling Bijan Robinson to go to Texas.
Okay, but moving on before we get canceled.
Now the Lord's sending people to Tennessee. Q. It's just not fair.
Anyway, yeah, bro, it's just it's one of the craziest stories I've ever seen. Because my mind goes to this. Why would you let Ohio State come in and recruit him if you were never going to allow him to go there? Why would you let him commit there? Like, why does this stuff happen on signing day? It's like, I don't know. It's like we talking about the Lord. It's like a revelation. Like people just wake up on signing day and forget what happened to last year recruiting. No matter who they committed to, no matter who they plan on signing with, no matter what their relationships were, they just do wacky stuff. It's like it should be studied. The craziness that happens on signing day, like scientifically studied.
It's like planning a European vacation and getting to the airport and you're like, oh, I needed a passport.
It doesn't make sense. Like I said, it's not the crazy story because Brian Hartline goes to USF, but that's one of the crazier stories I've ever heard. And the kid showed up with Ohio State. Like they left the house and the plan was still, I'm signing with Ohio State. I got the colors on, I got the photos, and right down to the moment, revelation. I was like, nah, you should go to Tennessee. Also, did he sign or did he just commit? Because I thought I heard he was still just unsigned.
I believe
I think he just flipped because they said committed, but I think he's waiting a couple days. So we'll see. But that's a crazier story I've heard ever.
Yeah. Q. I have a similar story to that. Not as big of a scale, but one of my buddies in high school was being recruited by Slippery Rock and Seton Hill. Seton Hill, obviously, not Slippery Rock. No school is my buddy. He. At Slippery Rock, obviously a Division II program. My buddy had an offer to go there. He was able to, play on the team, but it wouldn't have been as much money as Seton Hill. And he was like, I'm going to Slippery Rock. I went on my visit. It was crazy. I got to party with the football team. Great time. He's going to walk out of the door for his National Signing Day ceremony at his high school, and his mom's standing at the door, obviously Slippery Rock. His colors are green and is white. He's getting ready to walk out the door, and his mom's standing there with a red tie. It's like, I did not work my entire life for you to not be able to get an education that is paid for. You're going to put this red tie on and go up there and commit to Seton Hill and tell them that's where you're going. And he's like, what am I going to do? That's what mom says. He said, I took the green tie off, I put the red one on, and then I got to the gymnasium and I told him, change of plans. It's Seton Hill. He said, I took my pictures with the paperwork to sign with Slippery Rock right in front of me, and I was going to Seton Hill. So, I mean, it happens.
Yeah, it does. It's just crazy. Like, especially coming from an adult, you should have shut that down well before the kid showed up. But I'm not a parent. I can tell you I'm a parent. It's just crazy what happens. But like, yeah, we've seen it before. We've seen beef in households. We'll see how Legend Bay, the process pans out. But For like his relationship's sake, I hope he goes to Tennessee, absolutely balls out and goes to the NFL. Because if he gets anything short of the NFL coming out of Tennessee, ooh, man, Thanksgiving will not be fun. Thanksgiving will not be fun, I'll tell you that. Mom, remember that time we go to Tennessee and we sucked because we didn't have expectations as high as Penn State? Yeah, I told you so.
Q, speaking of expectations, the Buckeyes have a massive game ahead of them on Saturday, but it feels like we haven't talked about it at all around here because the Buckeyes are losing coaches, losing commits, all kinds of distractions around the program. Before we do a deep dive in the game on tomorrow's episode, Q, are you worried about the distractions around the program? Ryan Day has a lot on his plate right now. He has the Chris Henry Jr. saga going on. He loses Caden Dixon-Wyatt on National Signing Day. He has to worry about Brian Hartline, who they have stated is going to be staying with the Buckeyes through the playoff run. They have to worry about his departure and replacing him. They're likely going to need a new wide receivers coach. Lots going on around the program, and they have a national championship run potentially ahead of them, as well as a Big Ten championship game on Saturday. Q, you concerned about all the distractions in Columbus at the moment?
No, not really, because Ryan Day and Brian Hartline aren't playing on Saturday. They are coaching. I feel like Ryan Day is going to be locked in, but this team is ready to go back to back. I mean, you feel like they're coming off the win off Michigan, a chance for everybody on this team to get there, besides Joey Velasquez, to get their first Big Ten championship. None of them have played in that game. I think the team is focused and ready to go. And obviously, they want that first playoff seed. You feel like they're going to get a favorable matchup if they're able to do that. So, yeah, I feel like the team is locked in. They're ready to go. I mean, Ryan Day has dealt with all kinds of stuff at Ohio State, including threats against him and his family. So, Chris Henry Jr. not committing and not signing yet, and a couple guys flipping out, and Guilford still being on the line. Like, I don't think that's the worst he's dealt with. Yeah, he's got to do a coaching hire, but Brian Hartline's going to stick around. I think the best thing for Brian Hartline is to go out, prove he's a good OC, go win a national championship, go ahead and take that. Yeah, like I said, we can get him to Miami. He's just got to go the rest of the way if we get down to Florida and win that. So I think that's the best thing for him. I think this team is focused and locked in. And again, this is some off-the-field distractions. We know what recruiting is. It's been a wild since we've started doing the show. Recruiting's been a wild ride every signing day. I don't know what's been more stressful for us, but for Ryan Day, it's just like, oh, it's another year trying to sign my top players at Ohio State, who everybody's going to drop a bag for.
Honestly, we might be a little bit concerned. Ryan Day has talked about routine all year and how important routine is for success, and he has not strayed from that plan, keeping the routine of losing a commit on National Signing Day absolutely rolling. Yeah. So I'm glad that he's dedicated to the message. I don't think he's going to be too distracted because it's just another National Signing Day in Columbus, and Ryan Day will be now replacing his third straight offensive coordinator here in Columbus. So I think he's done it before and he will be just fine. Q, that's all I have for today. Let the people know where they can find you.
Well, appreciate everybody for 6,800 subs where we currently are now. So
6,800.
Yes. Hey guys, big thank you for 60 700 subscribers. It's been awesome. You guys have been kind of crushing every goal, and I'm excited for the continued growth. Look, every like, every comment, every share, all of that helps us. Every sub, that all helps us as we try to get to 10K before the year ends. So do want to kick it back to Ron and Q, but thank you guys again.
How dare you try to ruin the moment? Enjoy our 6-7 episode.
Okay, it's not what the numbers tell me. But regardless, wild National Signing Day, of course. So I know you're stressed out walking through that, but hey, everybody, we'll be just fine. And the transfer portal is now open for Ohio State at the wide receiver room. So, hey, man, Nick Marsh, we talked about him yesterday. Cam Coleman, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But
stuff away from you.
If you want to get more news on that and more news on your daily live show, come here to the Buckeye Roast. I am Cityboy Quinn on Twitter. I am Flying Johnson on Instagram. Most importantly, here Monday through Friday here on the Dead Air Sports Network on the Buckeye Roast with my guy Ron. Hit that sub button. Comment down below. Let me know your craziest thing that happened today on Saturday. Do you think Chris Henry will sign? Do you think he's out? And what do you expect from Brian Hartline down in South Florida? Anything? 7 words. Comment that. It really helps us out. Ron, where can they find you at?
They can find me right here on the Dead Air Sports Network for the Buckeye Roast Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, right here with my guy Q, talking all things Buckeyes. You can also catch me in the Bleacher Report app for instant reactions after every Ohio State game with Chris Drew in the Ohio State team stream. You can also catch me on Twitter at 2Ts. It's 2_TEES. I've added like 70 followers in the last day, so shout out to all the new followers there, and shout out to all the new members in the Discord. We're up to like 125 members. The link is in the description of every episode now, so the chat does not have to end after the show. The live chat can continue in the Discord. We have a Dead Air group chat inside our Discord. We have a board where you can suggest show topics, all kinds of things, notifications for when the shows go live, all that good stuff. Be sure to join the Discord. We appreciate all the support from the community as we continue to grow. Unfortunately, past 6-7, as much as I love growing, if we could have stopped at 6,700 and just sat there forever, my heart would have been content. But the show goes on as we continue to grow here at Dead Air Sports. Q, you know how this thing ends. It's always go Bucks. And of course, OH.
IO.
6-7.
The hell is a podcast? I mean, why don't you just tape it? What are you doing?
You don't have to tape it these days, Frank. You just record it right onto the computer.
Dead air. We get champagne. We own that. We own that.
When I hit the scene, everybody know me. 40 tucked in my skinny jeans. I'm so fucking low key. All hundreds, finna go get some cream. This another show week. It's a show week. Out the 7 days, I gotta pick up 40. Mama told me, baby, get you some sleep. Gotta turn down, move slow, please. I go home, rock my son to sleep. Gotta stay awake, get more of these. Nigga, you mad cause you ain't getting no cheese. Whole hood charge you whole fee. Sometimes there's no one to watch over me. Too broke, can't get close to me. Send an op, say hello to me. Number respect when approaching me. And don't act like you don't know it's me. Know that bitch somewhere close to me. And I ain't got no reason to be on that. You the one to vent your homie. Even though I really be on that. Beat a nigga up if you want that. You can't even buy a whole lunch, Jack. Better get a clock and punch that. Used to run my hood like a rug rat. We went to war with one guy. Ain't lying, we'll go, they come back. All on defense, we bust back. So they want me whack. 100 shots out the back of the lag. I spit that shit that you get hot to and make you want clap after that. Then drop some shit that make you contemplate on it after the fact. Rap about the shit you living, nigga, what happened to that? I don't give a fuck about the rap game no more, nigga, I'm after the check. I ain't with the rap beef, nigga say my name once, I'm after his neck. Reach for 150, I'm